Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. With that, let's get on up to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. For the call, we bring in our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. It'll be Case Keenum leading the charge, making his first start in a Bronco uniform here in this one.
At the 2018 draft, when the Broncos number came up at 5, plenty of chatter that they might take a quarterback right there. Remember, Josh Allen was still on the board. Josh Rosen was still on the board. But the Broncos made a commitment to Case Keenum in free agency, and they're living up to it. Did not take a quarterback in that slot. Going to ride with their new number 4, Case Keenum.
Now the former Utah man, this is Devontae Booker. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A Bronco first down. Keenum hooking up with Thomas.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Booker on first down. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
From the 50, it's Keenum. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Keenum on 3rd down. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. On the handoff, this is Booker. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Complete out right to Jake Butt. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a 1st down. They're just 1 yard. From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Throwing on 1st down is Keenum. This will be caught at about the 6. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Keenum. This is caught. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. They'll look to run with Freeman. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Nate Hairston there defensively.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. This is the most important of them all. 3rd and goal. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos are in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. You hear the roar from this crowd in Indianapolis as Andrew Luck comes back onto the field here in the Circle City and leads him into the huddle.
And the big news for the big passer from Stanford in 2018, a clean bill of health. Missed all of 2017 after complications from shoulder surgery. And this is a guy who had 40 touchdown passes in 2014. Anything even approaching that number could drastically alter the future of this franchise.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a first down throw. Luck. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Luck now on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Luck on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Luck. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt first down. He's back to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. They'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively. This defense making some plays right now, aren't they?
And they look like a group that really locked in before this series started. Read their scouting reports, got back to reading their keys, and playing with excellent leverage up front.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Desperation time for Luck on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are close to finishing off this football game. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. The drive starts with Devontae Booker. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. A second down carry for Booker. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. And another timeout taken by the Colts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Broncos on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Keenum. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Here's Marquette King now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at the 20. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Luck now to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Now Luck. This is caught. It's Ryan Brand. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
Offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ryan Grant, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. One last throw here for Luck. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night, everybody, from Indianapolis.